restart this computer. Okay. It's recording. Perfect. Okay, we shall begin. So you guys, for the purposes of this thing, are my class. Now I need to share my screen with you. Yes, share. Okay. I'm going to make that disappear. Okay, George, here we go.
Lunch with George and Fränzi.
Yes. Oh, no, 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 no. Done. Okay, slideshow. Here we go. Okay. So, yes, this is Lunch with George and Francie. Oh, April is joining us too. Awesome. Hi, April. Whenever you have a minute, just unmute yourself because I will eventually need your voices. So
I hope you guys don't hear my eating.
I'm gonna do this until nobody shows up anymore, which tells me you don't need this anymore. Um, and if yeah, and if I were to stop and you need it again, you just let me know. So I'm going to take you through the slide deck and I show you first how do I get ready for a class. So the first thing, of course, that I do is I download the deck from the teacher portal in tprsbooks.com. So I have a copy on my desktop and I don't need to rely on them and I can edit the deck, which is really important to me. So the deck always starts with a summary slide of the key vocabulary that is introduced in that particular story. I never show that to students. Some teachers like to pre-teach that vocabulary, but I'm thinking, why? Let's just get into the story. We the reason why this works so well is because we love stories. And as humans, we're drawn to stories. So let's keep that vocab in stories. But for me, it's nice. Oh, okay, we're going to be going into to want and to go and to say. So for me, it's helpful. For the students, I don't think so. And then this is a copy of the original slide. And in my humble opinion, there's just so much going on. And I like actually breaking it down. I break it down like this. I take out that which I don't need right off the bat. So I'm just going to work with Il y a un garçon and then there is a boy. That's it. And we're going to work that slide for however long we can. The hardest part of TPRS is making it last and last and last without getting boring. I also highlight in the upper left corner, qu'est-ce que, what, the word what, qu'est-ce que, and that tells me when I work this slide, that is the only question word that makes sense to use with the statement in front of me. I'm not going to be able to use why is a boy or how many boys. Well, probably could, but yeah,
You could use
okay.
who is a boy.
But who is a boy? But what is will eventually make sense, does it? What is, yeah, qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? What is? There is a boy. So I highlight the question words that I want to use. And then I click forward, and then Le Garçon et George shows up. And eventually, on yet another click, when we triangle, those little verbs in the corner will show up. But again, in the beginning, this is all I show them. And then I reveal more and more as is needed. So that allows you, becomes available when you download the deck and you work through it to see what is it that you want to use in this lesson and how can I make it work for me. So how do I prepare before a class? I make notes. I use these home TPRS recipe with the sentences. So this way I again prepare myself. What are the verbs? What are the words that I want to bring into this class? And anything and everything I show you is available on the shared Google folder in my SD73. I will quickly show you how you get there. You go to my SD73 You log in, and from here, there is a link. So you go to MySD73, you go to schools, you go to curriculum. Where is it? School. It's so well hidden. Curriculum. Under curriculum, it's second languages. And under second languages, there's a shared district French resources folder. And in here are TPRS-CI. Everything I show you today is in that folder. Okay. And if you can't find it, I'll send you the link. I know
Okay.
it's extremely well hidden. Yeah, it can be very frustrating. So going back here. So I make notes ahead of time. What sentence am I working today? Where am I going to go with that? I review the tree PRS tree. So, okay, I add a character. I have yes, no questions. I have either or questions. I have what questions. Then the triangling. Then we describe the situation. I review the tree. Then, and that is brand spanking new, fresh off the printing press, I created this little, I think it will be super helpful, at least for me. Um, when I stand in front of a class and I have to say, class, is there a boy or a, I cannot think for the life of me of anything other than a boy. You know, of course you say, but Francie, you could have a pizza, you could have a girl, and you could have this, and that. Well, this is what this list is all about. Here you see I have what I think are appropriate famous people, famous male people, fictitious female people, fictional male people, funny names. Okay, I've changed that since I took this picture. So basically, this is a cognate sheet. Over here are all cognates. And here are names that we could use as alternatives. So when I have to say, hey, class, is George a boy or is George an elephant? Elephant. I have all these cognates at the tip of my finger. I'm feeling I'm not doing this justice, but I need this.
No, I've been looking for something like this to show them actually, because I want to make like a word wall, but with cognates. So
Yes.
this is helpful.
So these are not all the cognates there are. There are way, way more, but these are the cognates that I find are helpful for beginners. They're high frequency and they are appropriate to the stories we tell. So when I go into a classroom, I definitely have that in front of me to support my memory. And lastly, I show up, and I didn't bring it with this scale, the five-finger scale. Five is I can do it in my sleep. Four is I can do it, but I'm struggling. Three, I can't do it without the slide. Two is like, oh my gosh, I'm kind of lost. And one, I have no idea what's going on. So I bring that with me as well. So these are my trusted supports that I bring into the class. Okay, I need to learn. So, but most importantly, I check in with my intention. I check in with what is it that I want to accomplish. And what I want to accomplish is to be a magical communicator. I want to tell stories. I want to have fun. I want this to be just so that we don't even remember we're speaking French, that we're not doing grammar, we're not studying vocabulary, we're just communicating, we're storytelling. And how can I bring some of that magic into my life, into my classroom? So that's where I go. That's my intention. All right. So that gives you an idea of how I get ready, my prep work. And now I'm going to model with you how I would facilitate the first slide of the George story. And I have to start and just acknowledge it's an odd slide because il y a un garçon is not really a great place to begin. It's not a great sentence, but I'm a little bit ahead of myself. So let's I need to figure out where my arrow is going. This arrow is a good one. So, class,
Oui.
when we, merci, what means we?
Yes.
Yes. Is there a way for us to remember how to say yes? Is there does we sound like something you already know? Something that we. What does that remind you of when you want to remember we for yes?
Oui. Like going down a slide.
That's right. Yeah. So that could be one. Or I play this weekend with my we. Is that still a thing? Do they play still with we?
It's not a
No,
thing anymore.
it's not a thing anymore. Okay. We.
I mean, it is a little bit, but not
There
really.
we go. Okay. So when we want to say yes, we say we. And class, how would we say no in French? Anybody knows that already?
No.
No.
No, that's right. No. Oh, there we go. So I just made it. Class, how would you, no, what does that sound like? No, 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 no. And, I kind of killed it there. Yeah, for me, it sounds a little bit maybe like a pig that goes, no, 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 no,
No, no, no.
no. So we have for yes, no, for no. Can we just say that together? We
Oui.
We?
and no.
Oh.
No.
Excellent. Okay, so we have just a few little things that we need to remember when we learn the way we're going to learn today. We are going to start to create a story together. Now, when I tell you something about our story, that is the most interesting thing you have ever heard in your life. So you are going to say, oh. So when I tell you something interesting, you go,
Oh.
oh,
Oh.
it may not be interesting, but we're going to make it interesting. Oh, wow. When you don't understand something I'm saying, it is so important that you understand every single thing that comes out of my mouth. I want you all to understand what I'm saying. But if you don't, because sometimes I slip up and I may use a word you don't know yet, you can tell me that you didn't understand. Is there a gesture that we can all agree on that you could use, that we could use when you don't understand? This one? Like a timeout, like in volleyball, for example, in sports. Yeah, timeout. Great. Class, do you agree? We use this? All right, everybody agrees. If you don't understand even one little word, even one little sound, you go like this. And guess what? If you see one of your friends doing this, you join your friend right away because I don't always see everything. And so the moment you see somebody go there, everybody goes like this, and I stop in my tracks and we find out what it is you didn't understand. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
All
Mhm.
right. When I say class, you say oui, madame. Can we practice that? Class?
Oui, madame.
Très bien, bravo, super, c'est fantastique. And it's printed. I don't think it shows the right way around.
No,
Fantastique.
it does.
It does? Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Fantastique, what could that mean?
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Fantastic, fantastique. Class.
Oui,
Oui,
madame.
madame.
Excellent. When I ask a question to all of you, everyone answers together. Okay, so it's not one person's or one person answers and everybody else is asleep. No, 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 no. When I ask a question to the class, everyone answers at the same time. And all you need to do now is regarde et écoute. What could regarde et écoute mean, class?
Look and listen.
Look and listen. And that's all you need to do is to look and to listen. Does that mean you can talk to each other or? blurt out words. No, it really doesn't mean that. I'm taking a shortcut here. You can elaborate there a little bit with your kids. Okay. Alors, are you ready? Vous êtes prêtes?
Oui.
D'accord. Commençons. Let's begin. Il y a, and I point, il y a un garçon. Il y a un garçon. There is a boy. Class, what means garçon?
Boy.
Yeah, boy. Garçon means boy. What means un?
Ah.
Ah, il y a. What means il y a?
There is.
There is. Il y a un garçon. There is a boy. Très bien. Classe,
Oui,
Oui.
madame.
il y a un garçon.
Oh.
Oh, most important, amazing thing you've ever heard in your life. Oh, il y a un garçon. Classe,
Oui, madame.
il y a un garçon.
Oui.
Oui.
Oui, il y a un garçon. Classe,
Oui,
Oui.
madame.
il y a un garçon ou deux garçons. Un garçon ou deux garçons. What could mean ou? What could mean the word ou?
Or.
Yeah, that's right. Ou means or. Alors, classe, il y a un garçon ou deux garçons.
Un garçon.
Garçon.
Oui, un garçon, naturellement. Il y a un garçon. Classe,
Oui, madame.
Madame.
il y a, il y a deux garçons.
No.
Oh.
Non, il n'y a pas deux garçons. Il y a
Mm.
un garçon. Classe,
Oui,
Oui,
madame.
madame.
il y a une fille. Hmm.
No.
Non, il n'y a pas de fille. Il y a un garçon. What could be une fille? Une fille.
Girl.
It's a girl. C'est correct, oui. Une fille is a girl. Une fille. Voilà. Alors, classe,
Oui.
Oui, madame.
qu'est-ce, non, qu'est-ce
Qu'est-ce que?
qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Qu'est-ce qu'il y a?
Il y
Un
a un garçon.
garçon.
Il y a un garçon, oui. Qu'est-ce que means?
What?
What? Correct. Classe,
Oui, madame.
il y a une fille.
Non.
Do I hear everybody? Classe, il y a une fille.
So
Non.
sorry you
No.
anymore because I we have to go. My bell just rang.
Okay, you
Okay.
just watch the recording if you so choose.
Okay, thank you.
Merci. Oui. Non, il n'y a pas de fille. Il y a un garçon. Classe,
Oui, madame.
il y a un garçon ou, ou un tigre. Oh, what could be un tigre?
Tiger.
Oui, naturellement, bravo. Classe, il y a un garçon ou un tigre.
Un garçon.
Naturellement. Naturellement. What could mean naturellement? Naturellement.
Naturally.
Naturally. Oh, I don't even have a sign for that. Naturellement, of course, naturally. Il y a un garçon. Il n'y a pas de tigre. Oh là là, très bien. So I'm going to take a shortcut here, because you can only do so much with il y a un garçon. You can't really go into triangling. There's not much to describe for describing a situation. So I'm going on to the next sentence right away. Alors, glace,
Oui, madame.
okay, April and Miss Simpson, if you could unmute, you don't have to turn on your video, but if you could unmute, that would really help for the demo. Merci beaucoup. Classe, le garçon est George.
Whoa.
Oh,
Le garçon est George. What means le, class?
the
The garçon, same word as up here. Garçon means
Boy
boy. Et means,
is.
and then we have George, naturellement. Alors, classe, il y a un garçon. Le garçon est George.
Oh,
Oh.
Wow! Classe,
oui,
Oui,
madame.
madame.
il y a un garçon?
Oui,
Oui.
Oui, il y a un garçon. Le garçon est George?
Oui.
oui,
Oui,
Le
le
garçon.
garçon est George. Classe,
oui,
Oui,
madame.
madame.
le garçon est Harry Potter?
No.
Non, c'est ridicule. C'est ridicule. What could mean c'est ridicule?
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous, c'est ridicule, hein? Ce n'est pas Harry Potter. Le garçon est George. Classe,
Oui,
Oui,
madame.
madame.
le garçon est George ou une fille.
George.
Oui, le garçon est George. Classe,
Oui, madame.
le garçon est Katniss Everdeen.
No.
No.
Non, c'est ridicule, c'est ridicule, hein? Ce n'est pas Katniss Everdeen. Le garçon est George. Le garçon n'est pas Katniss Everdeen. What could mean n'est pas?
It's
Is
not.
not.
Is not. Très bien, super classe, bravo. Classe,
Oui, madame.
le garçon est grand ou petit? Hmm.
Wrong.
Le garçon est grand, d'accord? George est grand, oui? Everybody agrees? Tout le monde est d'accord? George
Oui.
est grand, d'accord. Classe,
Oui,
Ma-
madame.
le garçon est grand.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, wow! Il y a un garçon. Le garçon est George. George est grand. Wow! Classe,
Oui, madame.
qui est le garçon? Qui, and when I say key, it's like who in English, huh? And that sounds like an owl. So could we have one person who is the owl that every time when I say key, who, which means who, they make the owl sound. Ooh. Who would like to be the owl sound person?
Are
April,
we an owl, Maria?
would you be our
Oh, you're
owl?
gonna be the owl. Okay.
Okay. Alors, so when I say key, which means who, you will say ooh, and everybody Points at the face because we're looking for a person. Classe,
Oui, madame.
qui est le garçon? Bravo. Qui est le garçon?
George.
Le
Oui,
garçon est George.
oui. Le garçon est George. Classe,
Madame.
qui, qui
Oui.
est George?
Le
George
garçon
et le garçon.
Oui, bravo,
George
bravo,
est le
bravo, fantastique, bravo, fantastique. Oui, le garçon est George. Classe.
Oui,
Oui,
madame.
madame.
Le garçon est George ou George Clooney? Hmm.
George Clooney.
Non, 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 ce n'est pas George Clooney. Le garçon est
George.
George, c'est ça, bravo. Euh, qu'est-ce qu'il y a, classe? Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Qu'est-ce qu'il y a?
Garçon.
Un garçon. Il y a un garçon. Classe, classe.
Oui, madame.
Oui, madame.
I have a secret. J'ai un secret. I have a secret. Do you want to know? Oui.
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 Classe,
Oui, madame.
oui. Classe. I'm gonna these words from here. Problems you don't have in your class because you will have a blackboard. Classe, il y a une fille.
Oh.
Il y a une fille. Je, je suis la fille.
Oh.
Oh, je suis la fille. Je suis Paul. Oh, but who am I? Who am I? Qui suis-je?
Ooh.
Yeah, qui suis-je? Can you come up with a name for me? Who am I? Qui suis-je? Who am I? Qui suis-je? What are your suggestions?
Miss Frizzle.
Miss Frizzle, bonne idée, mais non, je ne suis pas Miss Frizzle. Qui suis-je? So you will collect all kinds of ideas from your students, hopefully appropriate ones, and then I will say, eventually I will say presque, almost, presque. Je suis Paula la pizza.
Oh.
Oh,
Je suis Paula la pizza. Classe.
oui.
Madame.
Oh, I
Je
need to write it in the
suis,
Zoom meeting.
je suis Paula la pizza.
Oui.
Oui, je suis Paula la pizza. Classe.
Oui, madame.
Je suis, je suis George.
No.
Non, c'est ridicule, c'est ridicule, ridiculous, c'est ridicule. Je ne suis pas George, je suis Paula la pizza. Classe,
Oui, madame.
George est grand. Je suis grande ou, ou petite. What do you suggest? Je suis grande, je suis grande Ou je suis petite.
Tu es petit?
Oui, correct. Je suis petite. Classe,
Oui, madame.
qui,
Ooh.
Ouh.
qui est grand? Hmm.
George est grand.
Oui, classe. George est grand. Classe,
Oui.
je suis, je suis grande?
No.
Oh.
Non, je suis petite. Je suis petite. And of course, I could add, or should probably add, grand, big, petit, small. Okay, and I'm seeing we're like half an hour into this. I want to keep this manageable. Okay, I want to keep this manageable. So let's go into let's do a triangling. Oh, this is not good. There we go. Um, okay, so April, tu
Oui.
es George. You are George. April George. I'm going to call you April and George. April George. Um, and now I'm not no longer asking the whole class, I'm asking just you. April George, il y a un garçon.
Oui, il y a un garçon.
Bravo, classe. Il y a un garçon. Amanda George.
Oui.
Le garçon est Harry Potter?
No. Le garçon est George.
Oui. And now you are George. How would you say that when you say I am George?
Je suis le garçon.
Je suis le garçon, or I am,
George.
je suis George. C'est ça, classe.
Oui, madame.
Oui. Il, il est George. April George.
Oui,
April, tu es grand ou petit?
je suis grand.
Oui, c'est correct, classe. Il est grand. Amanda, tu es Paula la pizza. You're now answering as Paula the pizza. Paula the pizza, tu es grande?
Non, je suis petit.
Ah oui, naturellement, tu es petite. Bravo. Euh, Paula the pizza, Paula la pizza, tu es un garçon?
Non, je suis une fille.
Non. Oh, ouais, mais maybe. Oui, tu es une fille.
Parle la pizza.
Oui, tu es une
Et-
fille
ah.
et une pizza, n'est-ce pas?
Oui.
Oui. Oh, classe. Oh, elle est une fille et une pizza. C'est ça. Très, très bien. Très, très bien. Elle est une fille. Elle est une pizza. Let's step a little back and describe the situation. So we could now take time. You would describe the situation to your hand. I would tell the kids you have 30 seconds in your hand. Imagine your favorite person and you're describing to them what's going on here. Let me demo it to you. Il y a un garçon. Le garçon est George. George est grand. Il y a une fille. La fille est grande. La fille est Paula la pizza. Okay, so
La fille est petite.
la fille est petite. Oui. Ah, see, you're filling in more details than I am. That's awesome. So I would now tell the class imagine your favorite person in the palm of your hand. You have 30 seconds. Explain to them what's going on here. So they would all murmur into their hand and blah, 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 blah. And you, at that, when they're done, you could model it again. Alors, très bien, merci. Alors, il y a un garçon, le garçon est George. George est très grand. Il y a une fille, la fille est Paula la pizza. Paula est petite. And then you could start picking on your strongest students, those you're thinking who are, I'm not saying smartest students, but the ones that process language the fastest that day under these circumstances. And so you would say, okay, can you describe the situation? So Amanda, est-ce que tu peux décrire la situation? Can you describe the situation in as much detail or as little as you like?
Um, il y a un garçon. Le garçon est George. George est grand. Il y a une fille. La fille est Paula la pizza. Paula la pizza est une fille et une pizza.
Ouais, bravo! Woohoo! Everybody, célébration! And you may want to, if you have a very exuberant class, you may want to tell them, we're going to do a single clap. We're going to celebrate with one clap. That's it. So you don't have them, you can contain their enthusiasm a little bit, or you can do a dolphin clap, or you can do a beagle clap. I don't know. You can come up with all kinds of ways of celebrating students. Très, très bien, Amanda. And now I repeat what you just did. Oui, il y a un garçon. Le garçon est George. Il y a une fille. La fille est Paula la pizza. Paula la pizza est petite. April, can you describe the situation?
Il y a un garçon. Le garçon est grand. Le garçon est Georges. Et il y a une fille. Une fille. La fille est Paula la pizza. Paula la pizza est petite.
Bravo! Célébration! Très, très bien! Fantastique! Bravo! Super! Bravo! Fantastic. And you give as many students as you can the opportunity to debrief. They may by this time get a little antsy or tired, or so you just go with whatever you find is available that day. The last question I would ask is the students to reflect what helped to make it comprehensible. What helped? What made it safe and a safe and supportive environment? And what made it interesting? So yeah, okay, so this is a story. We're going to continue to develop the story, and we have Paula the pizza or Petey the pizza if you're a male teacher. And we're going to add more characters. Next time, we're going to add Lady Gaga to all of this. So yeah, we have basically spent the last, how much time was that? Yeah, it was 35 minutes. Did it feel like 35 minutes?
Is that 35 minutes since we started the call or 35 minutes? Because you
Since
also told us the prep stuff and that took a
Exactly,
bit.
you're right. You're right. So maybe we spent about 20 minutes. I probably spent at least 10 minutes on just prepping and how to get ready for all of this.
And
And
there was a
Fränzi,
couple of fast forwards there too.
Exactly. Yeah. So
we, I remember at the end we like write it up when or something. When would we do that? Like when someone's summarizing, we might like be writing.
um,
Like remember on the screen, he would like write the sentence, and at the beginning of next class, you would. I'm
I
just
think he
remembering now.
does
It's
that
all coming back.
afterwards.
Is it
yes.
afterwards by himself,
Hmm.
not in
So
front of the class? Okay.
that's something I may not start in the very, very first class.
Oh,
I
okay.
would write it down for myself. It's super easy at this point. I know we have Paula the pizza and we have George the boy. Um, but I probably in the second class, I have a little notebook. I took a pen and I went to Michael's and bought feathers and attached flamboyant feathers to the pen. And who would like to be the scribe? And the scribe is in charge of writing down the story or how the story develops from
In
class.
English?
They can do it in English, they can do it in French, they can do whatever they want. And that is then what I take. And so for our next class, next Monday, I will make a slide. Il y a un garçon, le garçon est George. Il y a une fille, da, 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 da. Would type it all up and we would reread that at the beginning of the next class. And at that point, I would ask for a scribe, somebody who writes down everything that happens with the story in this class.
Cool.
So I think for a first class, we have a lot going on here. There's a lot.
Yeah.
And again, for me, the hardest thing is keeping the vocabulary super limited. We call that in TPRS staying inbound, like on a ski slope, staying in bounds. We don't, yeah, and this here helps me a lot because it allows me to remember what the cognates are, what appropriate words are that could fit into the story. And actually, here are my words. Here is my one or two garçons, une fille, un tigre, Harry Potter, Katniss, Grand Petit, and that's about it. These are my selected words, and I stick to them because, yes, I could tell them, about everything and the philosophy of the world, but they're not going to understand a word. And if they don't understand, it's not going to register. Any other questions you might have?
Is your
Your
slide
is your slide available?
Um,
I like the cues, like the listening, écoute and stuff.
so what I just show here, yeah, all that is going to go, it's going to be in that shared Google French resources slide thingy. I can send you a direct link because I know it's
I'm so bad on the internet. I can
go
never
right
figure
here.
it out.
Yeah, Amanda and April.
Thank you.
Franzi, you're actually coming to work with me tomorrow.
Yes,
Nice.
I mean,
yes,
Wednesday and Thursday this week.
right, right. Yeah,
So it's good
I'm
that,
gonna do more or less this.
yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic.
And if
Um,
if at this point you're saying, Francie, I don't need you, or let's do it
don't know.
together, or
Mhm.
let's take turns. This is what I did once in a class, is the teacher and I, we just took turns asking questions. Qui est là? Qu'est-ce que c'est? Il est grand, il est petit, and then we have a little bit more time to, anyway, however you want to do it, Amanda. Yeah,
I'd like you to help me get into that rhythm. So I think listening to you first mostly, and I'll jump in when I can. And
excellent.
um, do you want me to now that I have you? I don't know if April wants to listen to this too, but um, do you want me to tell you like what I've done? Because I've only had one class with both of them so far.
Okay. Let's see if there's another question about TPRS, and then I will turn off the video, and
That's
then we
right.
can talk about this off screen.
Thank you, Franzi.
April,
Bye,
you good?
Amanda.
Okay,
I'm good.
let
Thank
me,
you so much. That
all
was really
right,
helpful. Don't know how to exit.
turn this off. Okay, Amanda, I turned off the video.
Okay. It still says it is being recorded. Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh,